This is the Mike Schmidt Podcasting Network.
I'm not making any money talking these days. Good Christ. I'm a dick, folks. I'm not going to lie to you. Still am. I guess I am a decent guy because I'm a fucking jerk. And I'm not a jerk. Apparently I'm a dick. I'm not an awful guy, but I've done so much ridiculous stuff. I'm an awful guy. Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast. What's happening? I don't know. I put that question to you earlier. Why do I ask it twice? I have no idea. Because I really want to know. I really want to know what's happening. So I have to ask it a second, even a third time. You know what? What's happening? That's what I say, Raj and Rerun. And you too, Shirley, at the malt shop. Ah, Christ. You know, it's funny because What's Happening was a show when we were kids. And it was the black sitcom. That's what it was. Apparently they wanted everybody to watch it, but they assumed that they were getting through to the black audience with Raj and Rerun and Dwayne. And then they came out with What's Happening Now. And I can only imagine that the people who came up with that title stroked themselves off for weeks, thinking they were fucking brilliant. What's happening now? Get it? It's later, so we're finding out what's happening now. Fantastic. We are geniuses. Send this to black people. They will like it. No, they won't. You're like a 40-year-old white guy. What do you know about what black people like? Why am I mad at this unnamed executive? I have no idea. But what makes me laugh is then they had BET, which is the Black Entertainment Network or Black Entertainment Television. The BEN, Black Entertainment Network would be Ben. That wouldn't make any sense. Ben, the two of us need look no more. I throw that out there as a tribute because it's a world without Michael. And although I don't know if you've heard, as I record this, apparently AC Cowlings has put the gold casket in a white Bronco, and they're right now on the 405 freeway being chased by police. So you guys might want to keep an eye out for that. They're not covering it because all of the video cameras are down showing me signatures at the Staples Center because apparently that was interesting. Hey, look at all the people who signed this placard. Really? Go down to any wall down in the Mission District. Hey, look at all the homeless people who scrawled their names in a loony fashion. Who the fuck cares? Nobody. Signatures on a big card, which also I don't get. What the fuck is that? Michael, we're going to miss you. Guess what? You're writing it on a cardboard wall he's never going to see because they've got him hermetically sealed in a fucking gold vat. And they're going to roll them out with a bunch of flowers on top of it while Mariah Carey awkwardly moves her hands while she sings. What the fuck was that all about? She's doing this. When did she start doing it? Does she think she's signing for the deaf at home? Is that for their benefit? Because as she's saying, she's doing this weird thing with her hand and like almost like note up, note down. I can't even explain it. Like she was conducting some invisible orchestra in her fat head. And she has a fat head, folks. That tribute was there. I mean, it occurred, and that's fine. But I don't recall when Michael Jackson was a president of the United States, and it needed to be this crazy wall-to-wall coverage. Look, I understand. Biggest star in the world, that's fine. That's understandable. And yet, biggest star in the world, and they have to bring out Magic Johnson to give a tribute to him? What, because you're in Los Angeles? Is that it? Magic Johnson said Michael Jackson made him a better point guard. Excuse me? Really? It just seemed like everybody was looking for anything to say because, again, he had no real friends. He had no people close to him, so they had to just drag out all these fake celebrities. And they're not fake celebrities. Smokey Robinson, Berry Gordy, I get all that. That was fine. But then Mariah Carey singing with the hand, it was so self-indulgent. And then she busts out the guy from the video, 10 years ago, Trey Lorenz, who's a fine singer in his own right. And then he actually, at one point while they're singing yesterday, he goes, but he says Michael, and I can't do it justice because he can sing, but he's like, Michael, or whatever. And then you see her face like, and I mean, granted, I'm sure it was planned and all that, but the crowd went crazy when he said Michael and like looked up in the air. And I know just for an instant, Mariah Carey went, who the fuck do you think you are, Trey Lorenz? Step back because me and my cleavage are paying a tribute to Michael Jackson, a man I may have met twice. Nice cleavage, Mariah. Really? You bust out the cleavage at 10:30 in the morning as you sing the farewell to Michael Jackson? Oh, Christ. What a bunch of fucking whiffs. I mean, it was so bad to watch. I mean, and part of it was okay, and then his family's there. And again, I talked about this last week. I know, I get it. But it just popped into my head now because Lili and I were sitting here staring. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I just watching it was so it's over now, and I did apply. I tried to get in, folks, for you, for your edification. I wanted to be there to give you a spot on eyewitness account of what was happening. But apparently, every Hispanic woman in the world was able to beat me in on the lottery, and they won the tickets because that's all I saw interviewed on television yesterday. Was they talked to these women, and then the worst, like, dude, listen, if the news is going to interview you about Michael Jackson, don't start dancing. We understand he was a dancer, and you loved him, and you loved the way he danced, but just because you loved the way he danced doesn't mean osmosis has transferred the ability to dance to you. 200-pound Hispanic woman from Van Nuys who has decided to shake it, and I mean shake it. All of it. Setting off seismographs for miles around as she tries to fucking bop around to heal the world. Really? Is that the song you want to be dancing to? Oh, people being interviewed, talking. And I applied. I tried. My wife and I both. We sent in the thing because. And again, I genuinely wanted to go because I wanted to go. I wasn't going to go be like that guy who like shit all over it. I was interested to see it because I like Stevie Wonder. I'm a fan, so why not? I would go and see. And it's history. You try to be there. That's why. That's why I tried. So we put it in, and I said to Karen, they finally started letting people know. And I said to Karen, I go, did you get it? She goes, no, I didn't. And I go, how do you know? And she goes, well, I didn't get anything. So obviously I didn't get it because they've started sending them out because the people were on the news holding up their tickets and things like that. So I said, okay, no problem. So about an hour later, I checked my email. I got an email from the Michael Jackson, like the Staples Center tribute. I went, oh my fuck, are you kidding me? So I opened it up, and it was sorry you didn't get a ticket email. Now, come on, that's cruel. You can't pull a bait and switch like that. That's as if Michael in his sparkly, he had the sparkly glove on, and then he had the fedora, and he held it out to me, and I reached for it, and he whipped it across the stage, and then moonwalked away from me. That's what he did. Michael was holding out the invite to his thing, and then whoosh, moonwalked away, and I stood there grasping at anything. And all I had to do was I had to awkwardly talk to Tito about the canapes. I mean, that was awful. So, but yeah, that's what happened. It was the rug, the sparkly rug, the monkey feces covered rug, the epaulette covered rug was yanked out from underneath me, and I did not get to go to the Michael Jackson tribute. And then I said to Karen, I go, wait a minute. I go, how did you know you didn't get one? I go, did you get an email? She goes, no. I go, well, I didn't get an email. I did get an email, and I didn't get tickets. So why don't you check and see? And she goes up, and she's got an email, too. And they're like, oh, my God, it could happen. We're all, Charlie in the Chocolate Factory now. We're hoping that we can get a chance at the everlasting gobstopper. Everlasting gobstopper. And then Karen opened hers, and it was also a rejection notice. Damn it. So we did the only thing we could do. We went and rented janitor suits and fake mustaches and tried to sneak in. And I will tell you that did not go well. We tried. We certainly tried. Again, if I'd have described myself as a Hispanic woman, and again, I'm pretty close in weight to the women that I saw on the news, so I could have pulled it off. All I needed to do was I needed to get a trowel and put enough makeup on my face, and then I would have been in. That would have been it. But instead, I went the other route. I went janitor suit and fake mustache, and a derby. That probably wasn't good. You know what? Don't dress like a chimney sweep if you're looking to sneak into something in 2009. I think that's what we're losing. Don't walk up with a rickety broom and jump in the air and click your heels and say chim chim chiroo and expect to get in, because it's not going to happen, folks. I tried. Certainly, I walked up and I had and also, by the way, if you're going to get a fake mustache, do so. Don't use a tiny black comb. Now, these are my tips to you in the world of disguise. Do not hold a black comb under your nose and say, hello, chim chim chiroo, hop, and then click your heels together and try to breeze past saying you got to clean all the chimneys in the Staples Center. That's not going to work. It certainly didn't work for me, and it absolutely did not work for Karen because I couldn't get her to click her heels. She's like, I'm not that happy. But she looked cute in a mustache. Oh, my God, does my wife look cute in a mustache. And I took her out back behind the Staples Center, and I chim chim chirooed her all morning. Ha ha. I chimmed her chiroo. That's what I goddamn did. So that's what happened with us here at the Los Angeles headquarters of Michael Jackson Central. I don't know if we are technically that, but certainly when you want updates and you need news, this is where you come. You come to the Mike Schmidt podcast. You come to the 40-year-old boy, and you say, what's happening in the world? I need to know if Mike is making fun of it. And yes, there I am making fun of it, folks. I don't screw around. Okay. When I die, that's what I want. I want Mariah Carey to come out and swing her hand around in an awkward fashion, and I want 1 million people to sign a board. Just sign a farewell card to me. That's so dumb. Oh, never mind. I guess it's not that dumb. And I also want all of my brothers to show up wearing matching suits. I don't. Why? Guys, let it go. Please, seriously. Oh, I can't wait for the tour. Because you know it's going to happen. You know it is. You know, right now they're just trying to figure out some. They all literally all of the Jacksons from Joe on down have jeweler's loops in their eyes, reading the contract that Michael signed, trying to find the clause that indemnifies them against his death and lets them put on tribute shows and keep all the fucking money. That's what they're doing. They're like, there has to be some sort of weird, awkward monkeypox clause, and if Michael expired, we can go ahead and send Jermaine out in a glove, and everybody will go, yay, keep our money. I can't believe they're even thinking about it. I've heard that they're going to keep the money from the English concerts and call it like a tribute to Michael, like a 50-show tribute run. Dude, I got news for you. If I paid fucking $700 to see Michael Jackson, that's who I want to see, Michael Jackson. I do not need to see Jermaine come out and do a Charlie Chaplin song and shuffle around with a glove on. I will fucking, you know what? Give me my money back. That's my tribute. I'll put my fucking earbuds in, listen to Thriller, and count my fucking money. That's my tribute to Michael Jackson. I don't need to trek to England to watch fucking Marlon and Jackie go ahead and botch their dance moves. Dude, you know what? Go on YouTube and go find Dancing Machine. Okay? Go find, because that's fucking phenomenal. The old videos of Dancing Machine when Michael would bust out the robot and do the thing across the fucking stage, genius. Absolutely genius. And I get chills. I have goosebumps now thinking about it, because when I was a kid, I remember seeing it. There were moments, there were moments when you were a kid where you just go, oh my God, and you remember something. It's like you remember the first time you ever thought about a girl, or you actually thought about, like the first time I ever thought about getting girls was when I saw Saturday Night Fever. When I was like, I was 11 or 12, it was on cable, and probably 11, and it was the scene where he gets to dance, where Tony Manero gets to dance alone, like, and the whole club basically stops to watch him, and he does the thing where he goes down on his knees and he keeps coming up. It's to "You Should Be Dancing" by the Bee Gees. Listen to me, folks. Turn this off. Well, not yet. Go. Here's what because you have to hear the rest of the plan. If you turn it off now, then you're not going to hear the rest of the fucking plan. What are you going to do? You turn the show off, and then you're sitting there going, "Jesus, I turned the show off. Didn't he? Were there instructions? He should have thought this out better." Well, of course, I should have thought it out better. I'm the guy who tried to stick at the Staples Center with a broom and a comb. All right. So here's what you got to do. You got to go right now and get Saturday Night Fever, and you watch it because it's a good movie. It's worth. I mean, dude, the opening. When you watch the fucking opening, you're just like, that guy's the coolest guy ever. Fucking Tony Manero. That guy. Here's how cool that guy is in that movie. He's like returning paint, and you're like, I wish I was that guy. He's doing the most mundane task in history. He stops. He looks at his shoes in the mirror in the window, and then he works in a paint store, and you're like, I fucking wish I was that guy. That's how cool he was. He worked in a fucking paint store, and you wanted to be him. All right. So Monero's walking around, and granted, this might not translate 32 years later. I got to be honest with you. In 77, you were just like, holy shit, I want to be that guy working in a paint store. Now everybody wants to be a rapper. I don't know what the fuck they want to be. What am I, 80? Everybody wants to be a rapper? What am I, a grandfather? You kids and your rap. Kill me. All right. But when you watch, so right now, you got to get Saturday Night Fever. Turn this off eventually. But you get Saturday Night Fever and watch it, and then watch the dance scene where he dances in the club to "You Should Be Dancing." And that was the first time in my head I was just like, oh, I bet girls would like me if I could fucking do that. That would be awesome. And honestly, they didn't. But still, but I can do that. I can't do that. But I'm a fucking dude. I can dance. Oh my God, can I move? Seriously, for a big dude, I can glide across the floor. What am I, Leo Sayer? I can dance. You know I can dance. You know I can dance. I can dance. All right. So, then, and Leo Sayer, another reference from the 70s. This whole show is based in 77, folks. But go right now to YouTube. Well, first of all, so anyway, Tony Manero made me think about girls. And so that was like, made me think, oh, that would be great. Girls would like me if I could do all that kind of stuff. If I could eat pasta with a tablecloth around my neck. All right, so. But then, when I remember seeing Michael Jackson dance, like seeing... we all remember Thriller. We all remember where we were, because I remember watching Thriller at my house and just going, oh my God. And then going to a basketball game at my high school that night, and all anybody wanted to talk about was the Thriller video. Did you see the Thriller video? Oh my God, it was fucking incredible. That was all they wanted to talk about, because that's how amazing it was. Now, we lose sight of that because, again, they wheel them out in an urn and they have fucking, some numbskull come out and dance. It's like, no, that's not what it was about. When he was a fucking genius when he was a genius. Unfortunately, things broke bad. But... in the old days, man, and again, obviously the moon, and again, I talk about this now because, again, it's that big of a story, folks, and I'm sure you're sick of seeing it, you're sick of hearing it, but again, that's the media's fault. That's not really Michael's fault. That's the fault of all of the hangers-on. Again, it's not his fault that people want to know about this. And it's not my fault that I'm talking about it. It's not my fault. That's the name of the show this week. All right, so he wound up, man. If you look up the dancing machine videos, the best part is in the middle of the song, he busts out and he does the robot all the way across the stage, and his feet don't even look like they're moving. He's gliding. It's so amazing to watch. But the thing is, YouTube there's too much of a good thing. It's like when you go trick-or-treating on Halloween and then you eat all your candy that night, and then you'd have to try to steal like your brother's candy, and then you'd have to eat all that, and then eventually you were like a fat guy who needed surgery. All right, so it's like that. If you watch all the dance machine videos, eventually it's going to be like Halloween when you ate all the candy in one night, because you watch them over and over and you realize, oh, he did the same robot like every performance. He did it on Merv Griffin, he did it in concert, but what do you want? I mean, it was such a brilliant fucking thing. It's not his fault that you're watching 9 of them in a row. You know what I mean? It's like when I saw Van Halen on tour, and you'd see Van Halen like 2 or 3 nights in a row, and Dave would say the same thing about, hey, who's throwing shit? I'm going to fuck your girlfriend. Dave did that in every city. You didn't want to know that he did it in every city. You didn't want to know he did it every night. You wanted to think he was doing it exclusively for you that night, but when you were there, you were like, oh, this is great. And then the next time you saw him, you're like, fuck, he did it last time I saw him. Well, dude, it's fucking hard to go out and do those shows. It's like a comic. This is the disease that I have. Is I don't want to say the same thing twice. I don't. It's fucking me up because I don't do stand-up because I don't like repeating myself. And part of that is also I don't want to do the work required to make these things necessarily stage-friendly. I know that. I get that. That's who the fuck I am and who I've become and who I need to fucking overcome being if I plan on having any sort of fucking career. All right, so... But that's the thing is I don't want to repeat shit. I don't want to say things over and over. I don't want to say something, and again... In saying that I don't want to repeat anything, I'm repeating that I don't want to fucking repeat anything. I get it. Ha ha. Save your fucking email. But I don't want to be that guy. So like with Michael, you can't ask him to do a different robot every fucking night. Jesus Christ, it's hard enough to do the one robot that he's doing, and it's fucking amazing to watch. But what I'm saying is don't overdose it on YouTube because you'll wind up going, oh, fucking robot, who cares? But watch it. You have to go watch it. Here's why. Because the fucking as good and as magical and as amazing as Michael is in his robot and dancing machine, that's how bad his 2 brothers are at the robot when he has to go and join them in the line. It's the best. You've got to watch them over and over because he busts out like this crazy robot and he glides across the stage and he glides back. And you know that the brothers were like, well, fuck, that totally takes focus off of us. Joe, Dad! And he went, Michael, you got to include your brothers in the robot. He's like, they can't do the fucking robot. And they're like, it doesn't matter. Michael, you need to include your brothers in the robot. We can't, because let's face it, the Jackson 5 was a communist collective. There is no one above the 5. It is the 5. Michael, you are not above the 5. Granted, you're going to go solo eventually, but we're going to fucking drag you down into our Jackson tar pit for the rest of our goddamn lives. So don't even think that you're going to escape the clutches of the fucking Jackson 5. So... in the Jackson 5 themselves, they were like, dude, seriously, this is it's a communist collective. You need to include your brothers in the robot. No one shines above the whole. The whole is what's important. So Michael goes out, does this amazing robot, and everybody goes crazy. Like, holy fuck, look at that robot. And then he has to fall back into a line, and he has to literally, you can actually see him, he almost rolls his eyes because he's just like, dun, 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 dun. He has to do the most boring robot. The robot that I just did while I hummed that, is it better than what the Jacksons do when they fall in line with Michael in their robot? It was the greatest revelation when I watched, because again, since he's died, you go to YouTube, and all you do is, I'll stay up all night and cry watching his videos because, folks, that's who I am. Part of that's true, part of that's not true. But I did get choked up watching the fucking 83 special, the Moonwalk, where he dropped that on everybody and changed his life and everybody else's at the time. Because, dude, it was funny. I was talking to a friend because you wind up, it was weird. It was like a death in the family. You wind up talking to everybody because, we didn't really, it was funny. I made a comment last week where Lili said, I'm sorry to ruin your childhood. And I said, you didn't ruin my childhood. You didn't. Because she didn't really. But you know what? Honestly, I think a lot of the people mourning and stuff like that were mourning their youth. That's what we were seeing go by. That's what we were seeing go away. Because he was a huge part of my growing up. And then he's gone. And even if you become a punchline and stuff, it still brings you back into that headspace you were back then. I can't even imagine what's going to happen when Tony Manero dies. So, you okay? You spit water? Did they get in the computer? Oh, dude, I'm sorry. Did it get in the computer? The last thing I need to do is lose what we've talked about so far because I will never be able to repeat it. I got no fucking clue what I said. Folks, I'm looking forward to hearing this goddamn show because I don't know what the fuck I've talked about. But then again, you're not listening now because you already turned it off, didn't you? Because I told you to fucking turn it off. All right, turn it back on. So you watched Night Fever and you watched YouTube, and we're back. Hey, good to have you. All right, so I'm talking to friends of mine, and then one of them was saying we were trying to, it was that thing where you're like, you remember? I remember where I was when I saw the Motown special. I was in my house, and my friend was like, you want to know how big a deal that was? He goes, I was with a girl. Now you got to remember we're in high school, okay? And he goes, and I was doing stuff. And I actually stopped and went, whoa, what was that? Like he actually in the middle of high school fumbling with a girl. Now that's a big deal, okay? In the middle of awkwardly fumbling around and I don't want to say awkwardly because my friend's going to call me and go, dude, I'm a Lothario. I don't care if you are. Fine. You were knocking out the bottom of that fucking pussy. That's fine. That's what you were doing. But for my intents and purposes, you were awkwardly fumbling in the dark with a girl trying to figure out how to open a condom for the first time. So, suck on that, friend who's unnamed. But he mentioned that he was with a girl, and he actually saw it on the TV and went, whoa, 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 and stopped what they were doing to watch it. That's how powerful a moment it was. It overcame high school sex. I mean, think about that, folks. So that's what it was. It was a big deal at the time. And where the fuck was I going with this? I don't even know. Huh. Oh, so I was watching it on YouTube, and I actually cried. Like, I got choked up watching the 83 thing. All right, that's useless. I don't know why I brought that up. I hit a wall. Like literally, I drove this conversation. I put it right into a fucking wall. That's what I did. It was a stick shift, and I didn't know how to drive it. I was in a stick shift, and I was trying to shift, and I ground the gears, and this conversation just smashed right into a fucking wall. All right. So I guess the bottom line is things are sad sometimes. I don't know. Is that what it? Oh, stupid. All right, so. I'm sure I will listen back and go, that's what I was supposed to say. That's where I was supposed to go. Right now, no fucking idea. Because again, folks, this conversation, it was like driving, it was a car with a stick. I can't drive a stick. I got to be honest with you, folks. I can't drive a stick. I wish I could. I mean, I know the basics of it. I know the foot clutch, 1, 2, 3. I know all that. But I'm 41, going to be 42, and I can't do it. Like, I can do it. If I have to, like if someone, in theory, like if someone's choking, like if you see somebody and they need a tracheotomy, I can give them a tracheotomy with a pen because I've seen it in magazines and I've seen it on TV. It's going to be sloppy and it's probably not going to be good, but I know you're supposed to take the fucking thing out of the pen and then poke the hole in their throat so then they can breathe through the pen. I know how to do that. Again, when I say I know how to do that, I know in theory how to do that. I've never done it. Whereas with driving a stick, I've done it. I just don't know how to do it. Does that make any sense? Dude, one time, when I first moved to L.A., god damn it, I moved from Tahoe, and I moved here to L.A. with my brother, and that went well. But we want to, let's put it this way. It was like, he was like, dude, hey, you know what? When you move back from Tahoe, it's going to be great. We're going to have an apartment. You'll come down and we'll be living there. It'll be great. Because I lived in Tahoe for 2 years, was it? I moved there. I was in LA from 86 to 87, and then I lived in Tahoe from 87 to 90. Like late 89, 90. So yeah, I lived in Tahoe on my own for a couple of years. So then I had to move to LA, and my brother and he was like, dude, you got to come down. It'll be great. We'll have an apartment. And I was like, okay. So I was also going to come down in time to see Guns N' Roses. This was more important than an apartment to me. The Rolling Stones were playing the LA Coliseum, and they were having Guns N' Roses and In Living Color. Living Color open for them. In Living Color sketch show, Living Color band. So it was the Rolling Stones along with Guns N' Roses and Living Color. And I told Lenny, I go, dude, I need to go. I have to go to this. He's like, all right, well, you know what? He goes, send me money for a ticket, and then I'll get us tickets, and then you can come down beforehand. And then I go, great. So I sent him money for the tickets, and then I was also sending him some money for the apartment because we had a down payment, whatever. And then I call him to arrange coming home because the concerts were in late October. And I was going to move back in November, but I was going to come like a week early, and I didn't know where we were staying because I thought we were getting the apartment November 1st. And he's like, oh, dude, you know what? I couldn't get tickets for the Stones. It was a 3-night run at the Coliseum. I mean, there's like 100,000 seats in there. It just seemed really weird to me. But honestly, it was at a time when Guns N' Roses was fucking huge. Them being there was almost a bigger deal than the Stones. Because the Stones are the Stones, and everybody wants to see the Stones, but fucking GNR at the time was volatile. I mean, they were just like fucking a Molotov cocktail of rock. That sounds awful and weird and pretentious, but they were. I mean, they were just like ready to fucking explode at any time. But sometimes that's like I saw the Police in Dodger Stadium a few years ago. The Police, I was their reunion tour, and that's cool. I'm glad I got to see them. But the Foo Fighters fucking destroyed them. The Foo Fighters went on before them and were awesome. Fucking Dave Grohl running all over. I mean, the Foo Fighters are just great. Can we all agree on that? The Foo Fighters are great. And I've met Dave Grohl a couple of times. Been lucky enough to talk to him and tell him that I like him. All right, so who cares? So, but yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Is like, the Stones would have been cool to see, but I would have been going to see fucking Guns because that's my band. So, Lenny can't get tickets. So I'm like, all right, well then I won't come until November. We'll work it out where I'll come in November. So I pack up my things in Tahoe and I arrange my life and I break up with all of my ladies, all the married ladies that I was banging. All right, and. Man, I dated this one girl, this married chick who, like, have I talked about Wendy? I have, right? I have? Okay, then I won't talk about it. Forget it, folks. Lili says I talked about it, so I won't talk about it anymore. The married chick who owned the hotel? I talked about that?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Well, you may have talked to me personally. Shit.
Sure, who cares? Folks, let's put it this way. If I've talked about it, enjoy it. But if I haven't, write me and I'll talk about it another time. But she was this married chick who used to work out at the gym that I worked at. And oh, my... Jesus. All right. And then she was married and like her and her husband owned a hotel. But then like she would have me come over to the hotel and I banged that chick in a hot tub in the parking lot. Like you could see from the street. Like it was that kind of like, cause she was with her husband and was, she was out of it, like didn't care anymore about him. So like, and I showed her like a modicum of attention, like literally, like I flirted and then I saw it come back in waves and I'm like, this is going to work, seriously? And the next thing you know, I'm in a fucking, hot tub, like Bo Derek and Dudley Moore or somebody. So were they in a hot tub? No, because Bo Derek was in a hot tub in a movie called Change of Seasons and I always see that scene in my head. All right, never mind. Again, folks, from the 70s, Change of Seasons, go look it up. Bo Derek in a hot tub. All right. But by the way, look up Bo Derek first, because then you got to know who the fuck she is. Because in your head, you're like, literally, because, in the 80s during 10, she was sexy. But right now in your head, you're going, if you don't know who Bo Derek is, you're like, that sounds like a hillbilly. Why would I want to see that guy naked? Trust me, it was a hot chick.
Did you know a 4-year-old boy is scared of rocks?
You're listening to the 40-year-old boy, and coming up, everything's liquid on... where the stands for guessing.
All right, I'm going to go. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's go. Do it. Soy sauce. Salsa. Salsa? Good. It sounded a little
Good.
chunky.
No, good.
Is salsa really a... okay.
Your turn, man.
All right, hold on. I'm sorry. I got to get ready.
Don't let me see the label. Soy milk.
No.
Bosco?
Again, no.
Cake batter.
I got it. What kind of cake?
Lemon.
Yellow, exactly, dude. Nice job.
Yeah. All right, here we go. I got one, right?
Let's do it. Cough syrup, Robitussin.
You're right.
I got it. Okay,
You're right.
You ready?
Yeah, hurry up.
Hold on.
I'm getting sleepy.
Ow.
Is it cake batter again?
Ow.
Oh, hot coffee.
Yeah, hot coffee.
Sorry.
Spit or swallow? The age-old question answered on... only on the Mike Schmidt Podcasting Network.
I win.
So, where was I? So, all right, I'm in Tahoe, and I have to move. So I'm moving back to Los Angeles. So I come home, and Lenny picks me up at the airport. We're like, all right, cool. And I'm like, are we going right to the apartment? He's like, well, no, I'm going to hang out. We're going first to our buddy Mark's house. And we went and ate. It was like, I was coming back to LA. I was very excited. So we went to his friend Mark's house, and, Mark, kind of a stoner. Like I told you, my brother, he used to have those guys as friends. Lenny, I don't, because now I don't know if he indulges now. I don't know if he does any of that. But at the time, Lenny didn't mind substances. So we would always be around those people that I couldn't fucking stand. Like I told you, those guys would show up at your house at 11 o'clock on a bike. Just awful. The guy who keeps his weed in his sock. Get the fuck away from me. But there'd always be those guys. When you get high, that's who you wind up running with. It's just so fucking terrible. And again, you want to get high, that's great. I got no problem with it. I don't mind. My mom's gotten high for 90 years. But you just wind up with these hangers-on, these satellite people who are orbiting around, who are just, the people who like, literally, they want to sell you their CD collection. Just get fuck no, get away from me. Because this is before Craigslist. Like, people would just show up and they'd be like, hey, do you want to buy this shovel? No, I don't want to buy a shovel. Get lost. Terrible. Jesus fuck. So so we go to Mark's house and we hang out there. Mark's a decent guy. I don't know who he is, but I get along with him. He seems nice. And eventually, it gets to be like 11 o'clock. Like, I mean, it's nighttime, and I'm like tired. I mean, all my shit's in the car. I mean, I moved to town. That's the thing. And when I say in the car, at the time, my brother is rocking a Festiva. I mean, the clown's fucking car with his face on it. I picture the two of them having a drag race on Funny or Die. Like, literally, it would be the worst clip of all time. A smart car against a Festiva. You know what a Festiva was? A dumb car. That's what it was. Literally, like, a smart car is a smart car. It's the same size as the Festiva. Festiva, dumb car. That's what it was. And so imagine my fat ass lumbering around. But I will tell you, at the time, I was skinny. And, skinny by my standards. I mean, not skinny by any normal person's standards, but for me, it was like I had done nothing. I mean, it was like I was crazy because I told you I was fat when I worked at 7-Eleven, and then when my life spiraled out of control and I moved to Tahoe, I was still fat, and then life still spiraling out of control, but with no money for food. So luckily, I wound up being, and then I was bouncing and dancing all night long because again, Monero. I was able to implement my dancing strategy in Lake Tahoe and start banging nurses from the local hospital. So again, that's Tahoe. I'll go into that some other time. So I wind up coming back. So we're in the Festiva, and it's 11 o'clock. We're at Mark's house, and he's like, all right, well, we're going to take off. Let's go. And I said, oh, okay, great. So we leave, and I go, where are we going? Because then we start to drive, and we're in Hollywood, and I don't know where our apartment is. And my brother goes, oh, well, I wasn't able to get us an apartment. Like, I didn't get us an apartment. And I went, what? And he goes, yeah. He goes, I've been staying with Mark. And I'm like, which makes sense because, like, he seemed really at home there. And now he's got me. And I'm like, well, where are we going? He goes, well, there's a hotel in Hollywood that we can go stay at for a while. I'm not sure how much it is, but we can go there. And I'm trying to process this. Like, I mean, I have no idea because I've just moved back to town. I've been sending money, like for a place to live. Like, I don't know. I get no fucking idea. Like So I think we both know, and by both I mean you collectively. You're like the Jacksons. You're a collective communist collective whole. We both know I don't do real good with that kind of weird surprise news. Like, and I go, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I've been sending money. Like, what do you mean we're staying in a hotel? Like, it was this weird, and my brother and I have a weird relationship and always have, because my dad died when I was a kid. So Lenny's my dad, essentially. I mean, my older brother he's the guy who raised me because, even though my dad died when I was 13, he was gone when I was 7. And my mom worked. So Lenny, unfortunately, was thrust into the role of watching his 4 delinquent fucking brothers. And man, that's a bunch of fucking pressure to put on a kid. I mean, it's absolutely something that I completely understand was a huge burden for him. Now, does that excuse him turning into a fuck up? No. But he's not a fuck up. That's the problem. I'm a fuck up. My brother is married and has kids and is very successful. He does very well for himself. It's just that he doesn't talk to anybody in the family anymore. And there are some, I guess, maybe who would say that's why he's done so well for himself. Because he hasn't fucking gone ahead and carried around the suitcases that the rest of us have carried for our whole fucking life with the fucking weights inside of it of expectation and burden and the past. Who the fuck knows? All I know is he's happy with his life. That's all that matters. Now, in 1990, I wanted to put his head through a motherfucking wall because I got no place to live and I don't know what the fuck. So we go to this hotel in Hollywood, and folks, when I say the phrase hotel in Hollywood, that might give some of you the idea of glamour. That might hearken you back to days of yore when men wore white gloves and tuxedos and walked up red carpets and checked in, and bellmen in monkey suits with little round hats, chop, chop, bring my bags up to room 1145, boy, ding, ding. You might think of that. Guess what? You're wrong. We tooled a Festiva down Hollywood Boulevard, and we wind up at the St. Francis Hotel. on Hollywood and Western, right next to an adult bookstore. Well, in between, I should say, in between an adult bookstore and there's right next door to it. There's a Mexican bar. I think is the only way to put it, because literally that's the clientele. Like it's a Hispanic bar. That's all that are in there. Like, and I know this because I went in there to get change one time, and the mariachi band skipped. I mean, like, you know how you hear like a record would skip? I walked in and the actual live mariachi band skipped as they turned around, and they wondered why the gringo was stopping in. So, man, I'm fucking my voice up. What's happening? So we show up at the St. Andrews. The St. Francis, the St. Francis is the hotel. St. Andrews is a street in Hollywood in that same area. But Jane's Addiction sang about it in Jane Says. When he says she woke up on St. Andrews, she waits and gets her dinner there. You know what her dinner was? Heroin, because that's where the fucking smack dealers hang out, was on St. Andrews. So that was the whole point. Although maybe that's not what he meant. I don't know. I don't want to speak for Perry Farrell. But anyway, I can tell you that we go into the St. Francis, and it is the kind of place where the person is behind like bars, like the desk clerk, and they're behind bars and thick glass, and we paid for we were going to pay it was $28 for the night, or it was like $160 for the week, I think was the way it worked. Or it was you saved $10 if you went for the week. Some bullshit. And Lenny's like, well, should we pay for the week? And I'm like, I don't know. Should we pay for the fucking week? Because I have no idea where we're going. I mean, literally, I'm an idiot with, my box of fucking pictures and clothes. I don't know where the fuck I'm going. So he pays for, I go, dude, pay for whatever so he pays for the week. We go upstairs, and it's this old school elevator. Like it looks like a meat cooler, like that big door. Like you got to do that, and then slide the gate, climb in, and it's got like a dial at the top. It doesn't have any digital thing. It's got a literally we're taking this elevator to the 30s. That's where we're going. I've climbed in, and I'm fully expecting to get off and see a guy in a raccoon coat yell "Boola Boola" in my face. That's how fucking weird this is. So, although I might get off a floor earlier and see the twins from The Shining. I don't know how it's going to work. So fucking, it's this weird elevator. It's got you just see the arm moving to get us to our floor. We get off, and it's got this smell. Like I can't, you know when someone pukes and they throw the sawdust on it? Okay. It's that kind of smell, but without the puke smell. It just smells like that fake clean. Like somebody came in and sprayed the whole joint down with sawdust and Pine Sol. But there's that bleach smell that adult bookstores smell like. Maybe I've met enough adult bookstores to know what they smell like, folks. But they smell like bleach. And there's a reason. So we walk out of the hallway, and I keep looking, and I see the weird thing is like along the baseboards, it's white. Like there's the rug is black, but then along the baseboard it's like this white racing stripe, and I don't know what the fuck it is. So we get into our room. Our room has one bed. This huge black and white TV on legs. I mean, like that's how old it is. It's a TV with like big legs, and there's one chair, and then the shower and the sink. It's just horrible. And I'm just like, dude, what? Now, and the thing is, I know we're there for a week. So we finally get settled in, and then Lenny like crashes, and I tell him to take the bed because we'll alternate. I'll take the chair one night, he can take the bed, whatever. And he lays down, and I say, "Are we going to talk about this at all? Like about where the money went and why we don't have an apartment?" And he crashes. Like, and he might not have even crashed. He just went to sleep. Like he doesn't even fucking. He's got nothing for me. And I just sit there fucking staring. And I can't believe it. So I finally go to sleep. I wake up the next day, and I will say one thing. We kept the windows wide open. Okay, and there's like there was no fire escape by us. Fire escape was down the hall. And I love waking up to the sounds of a city. I just do. I always have. So like you can hear downstairs, like there's horns and traffic and people walking and doing shit. And then, you hear homeless people getting knifed. That's not good. But still, it's like I enjoyed that aspect of it. But I wake up, I go to take the shower. And I turn the shower on, and just this brown ooze comes shooting out. It is as bad as the shower I took at the fucking strip joint in the back to get all the fucking shaving cream off of me. But this time I lived there. All right. So it's like I didn't get to wrestle a stripper and then take the shower. This is now my shower in my place of residence. God damn it, it's awful. So I take the shower, and there's like these paper thin towels. I mean, it's just a terrible fucking place, folks. I can't even. I'm still trying to process it. And Lenny's gone, so I figure he went to get us. I'm sure a continental breakfast of some sort. He went to, or perhaps he went to look for our apartment. I don't know. I wake up in this joint, and it's just absolute death, man. It is this tiny towel, and I get dried off, and I walk out barefoot. And as I walk, that racing stripe is in our room, too. Like, I don't know what it is. And I walk, and I turn the corner, and I step in it, and the racing stripe comes up on my foot because it's wet from being in the shower. The racing stripe kind of disappears. Like, I take, and I look at the bottom of my foot. There's white stuff all over my foot. And I brush it off. I realize what it is. It's fucking roach powder. Like rat poison roach powder. They put it along the baseboards because that's where the bugs crawl. So they put it there so they'll walk in it and take it back to their nests and kill everybody. And it's all over everything, man. It is over the ground. It is all over the hallway. It is in every fucking place I can see. It's along the baseboards. They you know what it is? I'm sure you ever see when they do a Little League field and then they just fucking drew the baselines? I think they had that machine. They actually had that little wheelbarrow push cart, but they filled it with fucking roach and rat poison, and then they just walked down the hallway in each room and just fucking left a racing stripe of death right there along every fucking wall in the goddamn joint. Oh, God. So I can't. I get dressed, and I'm still trying to process the whole thing. I don't know. Because now I live there. Like, literally, we paid for a week. I know for a fact I live in this fucking Roach Motel. That's where I live. I don't know where my fucking money went. I don't know anything. I know where it went. I mean, he fucking smoked it up and did whatever he was going to do with it. That's fine. And I don't know. I got to get a job. Like, literally.
Oh, my God.
And it's funny because...
No, wait. Why didn't you kill him?
What?
Why didn't you just fucking kill him?
Because what the fuck am I going to do? Because what am I going to do? I'm sitting in a fucking hotel in Hollywood with everything I own and no money. Because I sent my money ahead of me. I figured I had an apartment waiting for me and everything was going to be fine. So I had no idea what to do. I was just kind of, and I didn't have a car. I had his car. And that was the thing is, this is a situation that's why I hate being dependent on people, because I've been that guy and gotten fucked, and it's happened all the time. And that's why I keep telling you to show me how to do this fucking production work, because I know eventually you're going to get fucking sick of me, and then I'm going to sit around with my thumb up my ass going, fuck, there's roach powder all over my shoes. I mean, I that's why I need to know things. I do that all the time. I settle. I fucking settle, and I let people do shit, and I'm just like, oh yeah, cool. Everything's getting done. Nothing I got to worry about. And then, sure enough, I fucking piss somebody off and shit hits the fan, and then I wind up fucked. And it's my own fault. I get that. It's who I am. I understand that. I wish that wasn't the case, and I'm trying to fix it. And by trying to fix it, I mean I am not trying to fix it at all. Because literally, I got 3 friends left in my entire life. That's it. 3 fucking friends, and I'm waiting for them to take a fucking powder. Or roach powder. So... I just live there. I don't know what the fuck to do. I turn on the black and white fucking television and sit there. I don't know what to do with myself. So we begin an odyssey of living in this Hollywood hotel and trying to figure out what's going to. And again, he's got the only car, so I have to get a job, and it has to be somewhere close. Like, I don't know what the fuck to do. I go to the adult bookstore to get change for the fucking washing machine. Like, it's that kind of weird life. And every night, you walk outside. And it's Hollywood Boulevard, man. And the thing is, if you go to Hollywood and Western now, they've cleaned it up. There's like a Quiznos. I mean, it's not bad. But at this point, there was an adult bookstore and a Hispanic bar, and I think it was called Knifings. I think that was the name of the bar. I think it was called Knifings. And then there was like a weird hot dog stand, and across the street was this huge industrial building, and heavy metal bands used to would rehearse in it. It was like this empty squatters building, and they would fucking rehearse it. And then, God's honest truth, they would rehearse, and they would throw batteries across the street at people on the fucking street. Like, you would go out late at night, And you would walk, and there'd be batteries and shit all over the ground because they'd be throwing washers and nuts and batteries from across the building on the like 7th floor trying to hit people across the street. It was that, it's fucking Hollywood in the early 90s. It was death. It was a terrible place to be. And our hotel was, it was a one-night hotel. So hookers in the lobby. You'd see hookers in the lobby and hookers on the street. And then we see one day, again, this odyssey continues where I have to get a job. Like I actually... And I start close. I go to knifings. No, I don't. That would be horrible. I didn't even want to go in the door. I'm scared shitless to walk past the fucking place. I went to the adult bookstore, applied for a job there. That did not go well because they didn't need help, I guess. And plus, I'd been coming in every day. They probably were like, this fucking perv, we can't have this guy here because I had nothing to do. What am I going to do? Watch the fucking black and white TV with legs? No. I'm going to go over to the adult bookstore and fucking, pay 60 cents and watch a goddamn movie for a while. Because it's the only thing I had. I had nothing else. So I wind up walking around the neighborhood trying to find a job. And Lenny finds a job at a place called Greenblatt's. It's a famous deli in Hollywood. So Lenny gets a job there. And it's down on Sunset. Near Crescent Heights. But I get a job, and it actually became fun. I will tell you this, because it was kind of that me and him against the world type of vibe, and he was still my older brother, and I loved him, you know what I mean? It was like, the shit had hit the fan, but it's like, at a certain point, you just got to go, well, fuck, what am I going to do? I mean, you can't sit there and be mad all the time. So we would go out, and we actually invented a thing where we would go apply for jobs. So we would go together and apply for jobs, and you would go in, and you would apply for the job, and you would either get the interview right on the spot because we weren't applying for anything in depth. And we would work it where when you would apply, and if it looked good, the other guy was in the car, we would walk out, and it was a play. You would walk out of the building, walk out, stop, look up, and give a thumbs up and a big like fake smile. Yee! That indicated that it went well. Well, then if it didn't go well, you had to walk out and you had to stop and do the same exact pose, but instead of a thumbs up and a big smile, you'd have to just drop your head and make a sad face and then mope to the car. Which is like, if you ever watched Arrested Development when Michael Cera would walk to the Charlie Brown theme, and he would walk, that's what we would do, but we were doing it in 1990, like walking to the car from a failed job interview. And then we would, we had no money, so we would go to dollar Chinese food. And we would eat once a day. Again, it was the life I was living in Tahoe with that guy, but now I'm living it with my brother in fucking Hollywood. And the only good thing was we were getting to do stand-up. Like I was starting to do stand-up. So we would go, to Sizzler, and it was all you could eat. So we would eat there on like a Tuesday, and then we wouldn't eat Wednesday, and then we'd go back to Sizzler on Thursday. Like we had to budget it and figure it out. Then we found dollar Chinese food, which was great. And also, oh my God, we would also eat 2 tacos for $1 at Jack in the Box. And those tasted like my hotel smelled. I mean, it just was a fucking vile concoction. They called it a taco, but it was just this fried fucking, it literally tasted like bile to me. Like, but I would eat them because it was 2 for $1. But dollar Chinese food was great because you would get, you'd have your choice of like chow mein or rice and then 2 side dishes. So I'd get like a broccoli beef and then a fucking almond chicken, and then I'd get chow mein out the ass, and they would just fucking bury you in noodles. And then, I mean, you've eaten at those joints, dollar Chinese food. What the fuck's in there? Who knows? It could be a fucking, you can find, you're sorting through the chow mein, you find a shoe. Who the fuck knows? You don't care. Eating chow mein at a dollar Chinese food place is like licking a theater floor. You don't even fucking ask questions, you just do it. You get it over with. Don't close your eyes, put in a fork, and start shoveling shit in your mouth. And if something's moving, pray to God it's a noodle and swallow it. That's how I did it. So we would do that, and then it's starting to wear on me. Where I'm just like, I mean, the life is wearing on me. We're, in a hotel filled with hookers, and guess who else lived at our hotel? Unbelievable. We saw him, and I'm like, and sadly, this is what it says about me that I recognize this fucking guy, and Lenny even knew who he was, but unbelievably, J.J. French of Twisted Sister lived in our hotel. I mean, who knows what he looks like, let alone the fact that he's in the fucking place. But we would see him, and he would walk out of his room. He'd be like, "Hey," and he'd just like fucking walk off. I'm sure he was a junkie or whatever the fuck he was, but shit had hit the fan, and J.J. French lived in that hotel. So, and I'm sure he would wake up and do some smack, and he'd walk up on St. Andrews, and then he'd go across the street and rehearse with his new band, and then throw batteries at me. I don't know what the fuck JJ did with his time, but JJ French lived in the hotel. And the woman at the counter was this horrible, let's put it this way, the desk clerks wore like security uniforms because they wanted to give the illusion that they could shoot you, I suppose, if anything bad happened. It was just this weird. I mean, I'm glad I did it now. At the time, though, it was fucking horrible. We would walk out. Dude, you would walk out of the hotel, and Lenny smokes. So Lenny would have cigarettes, and a homeless guy would come up and be like, "Hey, man, can I get a Lucy from you?" And Lenny would give him a cigarette. And we learned it was the hugest fucking mistake in the world, because the second you open, like, homeless people from miles around could hear you go and rip the plastic off your fucking cigarette pack, because Lenny would open it to give a homeless guy a Lucy. And I mean, it was like Thriller. It was the Thriller video. They would come out and they wanted fucking cigarettes. And I'm not lying to you. I would watch. Lenny gave away like an entire pack of cigarettes several times. Like, he would just be passing out cigarettes, and then he would have an empty pack, and he would have to go get more cigarettes, because they would just come out of nowhere, out of the ground. They would some homeless guy had a zip line from the roof across the street. The second a fucking cigarette pack came up, this guy shot across. There was an explosion. Somebody set off a flare. They threw a blanket on me and got me out of there, and all the cigarettes were fucking gone. That's how it worked. So it was this weird life of just existing, and it was fucking great on one end, because we were dependent wholly on one another, and we experienced everything together. But then, when I would sit and think about it, I didn't want to be in that situation, and I had tried to ensure that I wouldn't be in that fucking situation. I mean, I couldn't take it. It was so bad. So I wound up getting a job at a warehouse record store, which is in walking distance. And that was fun, too, because a Hollywood record store, we would get, like, people coming in to check on the sales of their album. Like, Jazzy B from Soul to Soul would come in and be like, "Hey, how's the album selling?" "Well, I don't know, Jazzy. I make $4.25 an hour. I'm not keeping track of your fucking album. Why don't you call your agent or the record company?" But they would come in anyway just to be seen, and then they would sign shit, and then they would leave. But then I would work there, and then at night I would just like walk back, and I'd be, in the adult bookstore killing time or sitting in the room. And then we're there for New Year's Eve. This was fucking depressing. We're there in Hollywood New Year's Eve, and this is, we're looking at 20 years ago. I'm in the hotel room New Year's Eve, and midnight happens, and Lenny's working stand-up, I think, because he wasn't there. It was just me alone in the room. Perhaps he had made a friend. He and JJ were getting fucking high. I don't know what the fuck was happening. But all of a sudden, gunshots erupt outside. Jesus. And I mean tons. And what it is, people are shooting into the air because it's New Year's Eve. Yay! The entire crowd at Knifings has spilled out into the street. Yeehaw! Reba! Shooting into the... And I'm on like the 6th floor. And I'm like, great, I'm going to die. Some stray fucking bullet's going to come flying in here, and I'm going to bleed out on top of a fucking black and white television. God damn it. You'll find nothing but me and covered in roach powder. So I get away from the windows is what I do. And I just sit there on the bed, and I'm listening to gunshots, and I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of here. I can't do this. I can't fucking do this. So the next day I'm walking to work. Yes, I had to work on January 1st. And I walk down, and there's shell casings on the ground. Empty, spent shell casings in like I could have collected them and recycled them probably and gotten more money than I would have made at the fucking record store that day. That's how many shell casings are on the ground in the alley and in the fucking curb. I mean, it was brutal. And I just said to myself, fuck, I got to get the fuck out of here. I can't do this. Seriously. So I make the decision, and I'm ready to fucking split. But not before one final indignity.
This is the 40-Year-Old Boy and the Mike Schmidt.
Citizens of Gotham City, this is the Joker, coming to you through your key station via my high-powered jamming system. You're listening to the 40-Year-Old Dum Dum on the stupid podcast, Stupid Network.
One final thing that has made me like try to go. A thing when you're not in control. And you know you're not in control, it's the worst fucking feeling in the world. And I shouldn't say one thing. There were two things. There were a couple things. A bunch of things happened, folks. But I realize now that I'm talking a lot about this. Whatever, who cares? But I'll tell you this. We wound up hanging out and talking, and then I visit Lenny's friend Mark, and Mark one night is wearing a Guns N' Roses concert shirt, and I'm like, hey, dude, you went to the show? And he goes, yeah. He goes, Lenny and I went. Lenny went to Guns N' Roses and the Rolling Stones and Living Colour. You know, the show that he couldn't get tickets for, that I couldn't come back from Tahoe for. Lenny went. Probably with the money I sent. So I look at Lenny. I go, you went to the fucking show? He goes, oh, yeah, I meant to tell you, we didn't buy tickets. When I talked to you, we didn't have tickets. But then that night, we were just like, you know what? We should go see if we can scalp some. And then we went and we bought tickets in the parking lot. And I go, dude, I could have fucking gone to the parking lot and scalped tickets too, because the show, and then it turns out the show that he went to was the night where they almost broke up, where fucking Axl called out Slash on stage and said some people aren't. It's a famous show if you go look it up. Axl called out Slash on stage and said, you know what, this might be the last fucking show of this band if some people don't get their shit together. And they had a huge fucking blow up on stage, and this is when he had the fight backstage with Living Color because he'd used the word nigger in a song, and they wound up confronting him on it. It was just this huge, and that was the show that Lenny went to. Lenny and Mark went to, that I couldn't go to because, I couldn't get tickets. So that just fucking emboldened me to where I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of here. This is not happening. And again, we're having a great time. We're going to do stand up and we're it's all that. But at the same time, I just can't go to this nagging feeling of, Jesus, this is fucked. And I hated it. I hated being there. And so one day, I should say, I had a job interview that I had to go to. And part of me didn't really want to go to this job interview because I already kind of knew I was leaving. Like, I didn't want to have a job that tied me to Hollywood, but at the same time, I needed fucking money just in case I couldn't make a break for it. Lenny's off that day, and he's got he's going to take me to the job interview. So then that morning, he gets paged. He gets beeped because it's that time period, folks. There's no cell phones or anything, and we don't have a phone in the fucking room. Are you kidding me? We got, what we have? We have hookers and the guitars from Twisted Sister. That's who we got, and roach powder. That's how literally we would have to spell out a note in roach powder and hold it up. We could actually stack all of the roach powder up by the window, like scrape it all up, and then beat a blanket over it and send up fucking smoke signals, like Indian smoke signals. That's how we communicated with people. But he gets paged, and he has to come into work that day. And he goes, well, you just take the car. He goes, drop me off at Greenblatt's, and then you take the car. And again, we're driving the Festiva, the dumb car. As if Lenny, got the Festiva, and that wasn't cheap enough. He got stick in it. Now, I don't do well with stick. I think I might have mentioned that to you folks. So Lenny's like, just take the car. And I go, dude, I can't. I don't drive stick very well. And he goes, big deal. He goes, I'll drive to Greenblatt's. All you got to do is get home. All you got to do is drive from it's Sunset and Crescent Heights to Hollywood and Western. It's a straight shot. He goes, you make, you'll go down, you come all the way up Sunset. You just turn left on Western, and then you turn left on Hollywood, and you're right here. Just find a place to park. I go, dude, I can't. I'm in my own head about it. Like, I'm freaking out. And he goes, dude, come on, it's no big deal. So we leave. We go to Greenblatt's. And he goes inside and he goes, all right, well, here you go. Here's the keys. You got to pick me up. I'll be done at 9 o'clock. So pick me up. And I'm dropping him off. It's 1 o'clock. My job interview is at 2:30. So I'm going to go back to the hotel. And then part of me is like, well, I should just go to the job interview and wait, just in case. But I go, nah, fuck it. I got to go to the hotel. So I got to go change because I didn't wear like job interview clothes. So I split and I start driving. And again, I can drive stick. I just can't drive stick. Does that make sense to anybody? I'm driving, so I get down on Sunset, and I whip a U, like in the middle of traffic. I don't even fuck around. I whip a U, and I just start driving up Sunset. And I'm just waiting, praying there's no stoplight. I'm hoping there's going to be a straight shot in Hollywood, nothing but green lights getting me right to my fucking house. I think we know that's not going to happen, but that's okay. So I'm driving and I'm doing okay. I'm in the Festiva and I'm grinding it. I'm grinding it a little bit, but I'm still doing okay. And the weird thing in your head where you're like, foot 1, foot 2, 3, foot, basically imagine if you tried to learn stick in Hollywood traffic alone. You don't even have a fucking companion in the passenger seat going, that's cool. Here's what you do. You got to just try. No, I have to remember everything on my own and deal with traffic. So I'm driving. And finally I'm at stoplights, and I kill it. I kill it at the fucking stoplight. I'm like, oh, fuck, so I got to restart it. People start honking, whatever the fuck. But I get it going again. And I drive again, and I pass another, and I'm at another stoplight. This time, I manage it. I'm fine. I get through it. I'm like, all right, well, I'm getting the hang of this kind of. And I'm cheating a little bit because I'm using, I'm kind of floating. You know how that thing you can do in stick where you're floating, where you don't actually come to a stop and you're just kind of like still moving? I do that so I'm avoiding trying to hit the brakes. I don't want to hit the brakes at all because then I'm going to have to redo everything. So I'm kind of floating. Even at a stoplight, I slow way down and I just drift like to the stoplight. I refuse to pull up to the car in front of me and stop. And people are looking at me like I'm insane, but I just slow way down so I'm only going like 1 mile an hour so I don't have to stop the fucking car. So I wind up basically kind of cruising through all the stoplights, and I have to stop at another stoplight, and I fucking kill it. So I'm like, God damn it. But this time I'm able to get it again really fast. I'm kind of getting the hang of it. So I finally get to Western. Now at Western, I've got to turn left. Okay. So I come up to Western, and the light is it has an arrow that's red, yellow, green. The arrow's green, but there's a car there. So I kind of try to drive and the arrow turns yellow, and I'm approaching the crosswalk, and the arrow turns red, and I go, fuck it. And I blow the red light because I don't want to stop the car. So I drift right through, and I turn left onto Western and just there's a guy in the crosswalk. I kind of swerve to avoid him, and he just gives me a look. He's like, Mr. Magoo, road hog. I mean, it's awful. So, but I make it. I blow through the red light. I don't get pulled over, and I'm like, fucking finally, awesome. All I got to do is get up to Hollywood, and I'm golden. So I drive up Western, and I get to Hollywood and Western, and I get in the left-hand turn lane, and I have to stop. And it's a hill. It's a little bit of an incline. So I'm on it, and light turns green. I kill the car. And I'm like, fuck. So I go to restart it, and I go to move ahead and turn left. And as I do, again, you got to understand it's kind of an incline. So I'm trying to do that weird foot thing where it's like you take your foot off, and then I'm rolling backwards, and I panic, and I hit the brake again, and I kill the car again. Guy behind me honks. And I'm just like, yeah, I get it. So I start the car again, and I go, and I put it in gear, and I go to fucking do it again. And as the car starts to incline, I try to just kind of cheat the brake a little, but then he pulls forward behind me because he's really anxious to go. And I see that, and I fucking hit the brake. Boom, I kill the car again. Jesus. Light turns red. This guy fucking lays on his horn, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, and I'm trying to get my shit together. I'm just, all right. Trying not to yell at this fucking guy because he's fully in the right. I mean, it was a green light. I should have gone. I could have gone. I killed the car 3 times. So I'm sitting there, and I'm waiting for the light to turn. Light turns green again. I take the foot off the brake. Car starts to roll backwards. I hit the brake again. I kill the fucking car. This guy behind me, he's yelling, what the fuck? He's yelling out his window, laying on the horn. And I'm sitting there. And I just like wave out the window like, yeah. I'm moving my hand like Mariah Carey singing at the memorial. I'm just like, got it, no problem. I start the car again, and this time I just try to fucking jump it. Like, he can just like immediately go into gear. Like, I just fucking try to grind it. And as I do that, I fucking take my foot off the brake, and the car just dies. I kill it again right there at the fucking stoplight. This guy finally goes around me. He fuck you, and he makes a left-hand turn from the regular lane in front of me. Like he just and another car pulls up behind me, and the light turns yellow, and I kill the car again. Now, the one thing in the Festiva, everything is like manual. It's like the whole car is made of plastic. But the one thing it did have is it has a digital clock on the radio. So there's a digital clock on the dashboard. I can see it. Now, I started to turn. When I got to Hollywood and Western, okay, it was 1:54. I got there. It was 1:54 when I stopped the car at Hollywood and Western. Now I look down. It's 1:56. Okay. And the car turns green again. I go to start the car, and I kill it again. And now I am pouring sweat. Like I'm sweating like a guy, like a rapist on the run from the cops. Like, I mean, because now I'm in my head and I can't do it. I can't make this turn. I freak. I'm white knuckling this fucking steering wheel. I'm in this shitbox Festiva, and it all comes to a head. Everything. Living in this fucking hotel, roach powder, hookers, JJ French, my fucking brother, Guns N' Roses, flew to fucking LA, my shit's upstairs, shell casings, working at a fucking record store, not knowing what to do with my fucking self. My brother works at fucking Greenblatt's. I'm trying to be a stand-up. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do, but I know what I can't do, and that's I can't make a motherfucking left-hand turn. So I'm sitting there, and I'm fucking gripping the car, and I want to go, and finally I kill the fucking car again, and I yell, fuck! I mean, I go crazy, and I just start punching the fucking steering wheel because I have no control over anything. It's over. I got nothing. I got no control over my life. I got no control over this left hand. This left-hand turn is a fucking microcosm of my entire existence at that point because everybody behind me wants to go ahead and live their fucking life, but they can't because this human fucking flotsam and jetsam, this cholesterol, has fucking clogged up the lane and is preventing everybody from going ahead and having their perfect existence. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting there pouring sweat, hating everybody, wanting to fucking die or bring everybody with me. And I'm punching the fucking steering wheel. I kill the fucking car again. I sit there, the green, yellow, red, green, yellow, red, 154, 55, 56, 57, clock moving, fucking light moving. I can't do it. I can't fucking do it. Finally, 2:01, green light. Fucking, I do everything. I close my eyes. I fucking calm down. I close my eyes. Foot, one, brake, off, and I start to move forward. And I move forward, and I fucking turn left. And I park. There's like a meter and a red zone, and I park right in the fucking red zone. I don't care. I honestly, because I'm not going to drive around looking for a parking spot. I go movie parking spot. I literally put my car directly in front of the hotel in a red zone, and I don't give a fuck about a ticket. I don't give a fuck about my life. I don't give a fuck about anything at this point. All I know is I am happy to just not be making this left-hand turn, and I've realized that I got to get the fuck out of there. And I missed the job interview. Probably because my hands are bleeding from beating the shit out of the fucking steering wheel and the dashboard. I went off like I had the mount on this car. Like I had the mount and I was just ground and pounding the shit out of this fucking car. I was just throwing punches and just my elbowing the fucking steering wheel. I mean, I'm surprised I didn't fucking bust. I mean, literally, I waited for shit to fly off. I can't believe it didn't because I didn't hit any of the like steering wheel, like the turn signals and shit. If I had, I'm sure shit would have flown off. That would have been hysterical. But instead, and I can't imagine the people driving by seeing this madman at a stoplight screaming and just punching. I mean, I'm wailing on this car because again, it's everything I hate at that moment, and I'm just blasting the shit out of it. And I went upstairs and just fucking sat there and went, I got to get the fuck out of here. And I started to hatch my plan. And then 8 o'clock rolls around, and I realize I got to go pick up Lenny from Greenblatt's. So I got to make the drive across town. Yeah. I said, fuck that. I called him at his work, and I go, dude, you need to get a ride. He's like, what? I go, dude, I can't drive the car across town. I can't. And he's fucking furious at me. And I just go, look, get a ride. I go, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do. And he did. He got a ride home. Because I tried to explain to him, and I'm sure when he came in and he just saw my hands like fucking destroyed and gnarled, we're in a red zone with a fucking ticket. He's just like, what the fuck? What happened? And I'm just like, I can't. I don't want to talk about it. We can't. There's nothing to talk about. I think you people know, and I think we all know, that if I don't want to talk about something, that means something has gone fucking horribly wrong. Because believe me, I'm a guy who always wants to talk about something. If you see me and I go, man, sorry, I don't want to talk about it, don't press, because obviously something terrible has happened. You guys can get me at Mike@MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can get me at MySpace.com/MikeSchmidtComedy. You guys can get me at Facebook at Facebook.com/The40-Year-Old-Boy. And that's the number 40. You guys can get Lili, our friend Lili von Stupp, who deserves a round of applause and patience for sitting through all this nonsense. Because literally, she's sitting on the bed right now, covered in spittle from me yelling and screaming. So, and quite frankly, not the first time she's been in her bed covered in spit, but, certainly the first time it's been covered in my spit. So let's all give her a round of applause and help her out. And also, you guys can be her friend at Facebook.com/Lili von Stupp. Yes?
Yes.
And also, you can be contacting her if you'd like at Lili, that's Lili, at burlesque411.com.
And please do.
Please do.
Contact me.
Yeah, let her know what's happening. Become her friend on You can get her through MySpace as well. She's Lili von Stupp. You can find me and her and my friends, me and her friends, and and do all that. What? What'd you say?
And tell me I'm disgusting.
No, don't do that. Tell her you love her and you're happy that she does all this, because if she didn't do all this, God knows you wouldn't have to sit through it. You know what? Maybe then you're mad at her. In that case, tell her to quit because you don't want to sit through this fucking nonsense anymore. And also remember, the Monday Night Tease is every Monday night at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. Go check the show out. It's every Monday night at 10 o'clock and at Santa Monica and Vine at the 3 clubs. And also remember that July 20th and July 27th are special Quentin Tarantino tribute shows, burlesque shows. It's the Monday Night Tease second annual Quentin Tarantino Burlesque Film Festival. Come and check it out. That's Monday, July 20th, Monday, July 27th. Amazing people doing all sorts of tributes to Tarantino movies. Last year sold out, and this year both shows I'm sure will sell out. We're well on our way.
Well on our way.
And tickets are available at brownpapertickets.com.
Yes.
And also through burlesque411.com.
No.
Okay, so brownpapertickets.com is the place to get tickets. Burlesque 411 is the place to get all the information that you possibly could want about the burlesque scene in Los Angeles. As those ominous notes of Sneaky Christ tell you, it's time for me, Mike Schmidt, to tell you that you need to purchase a Year 1 download set. That's right, it's available at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. Go ahead and get to the store and go ahead and download all of the magic of Year 1. As a matter of fact, Lili has earbuds in during the recording of Year 2, listening to Year 1, because she remembers when this show was great. Also, you guys might want to buy Skull Pie t-shirts, also available at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. Go to the store, get a Year 1 download set, get a Skull Pie t-shirt, take them to the beach, enjoy yourself for the summer. Why not? You know what, you might even see me and Lili there, because we do that. We have Geiger counters and headsets. We're all hoping to unearth some change so we can go ahead and stop doing this show. But please, unearth your own change, send it to me so you can buy a Skull Pie t-shirt, and you can also buy a Year 1 download set. That's right, 52 episodes, $25, one brutally funny podcast. I gotta go meet Karen. Karen's bowling tonight. She one of like the people that are at work are all like, let's all go bowling. Karen's like, okay, she's in. And I got to meet her, and it's so funny, like, because Karen and I go out now, and we're, we'll go anywhere, and I constantly, this is so stupid, I grab her phone, and I read her Twitters all night. Like, I'm in her car, it's the dumbest thing in the world, and yet, because I think Twitter is stupid. Twitter is relentlessly stupid. It's the most foolish thing in the world, and yet, Karen will sit there, and I will read her Twitters out loud. That's the thing. She'll drive, and I read the Twitters out loud to her. That's it. I got to read about Kirstie Alley, calling people lobster heads. I mean, it's just, Karen, she follows Martha Stewart, she follows Oprah, she follows Kirstie Alley. She doesn't follow, I'm sure there's all the subsets of people that you can follow that are cool or people that are just kind of weird, but whatever. Everybody's got their own deal. But Karen, first of all, I don't know if Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher exist without letting people know what the fuck they're doing in their lives. It is I love the fact that they're both Twittering at all times. Like, you know why? Because they don't want to fucking talk to one another. That's what it is. I think they might have invented Twitter just because they went, oh shit, I married a guy 30 years my junior. I got nothing to say to this motherfucker. Give me a cell phone so I can start Twittering to the world and let them know what I'm thinking, because I can't possibly share my deepest thoughts with my new bohunk boyfriend, husband, because he's not going to have any touchstone with reality with me. I'm married to the guy from that 70s show. Please, let me communicate with the earth. So I don't get Twitter. I don't understand it. Again, The Tonight Show does a brilliant bit called Twitter Tracker, where they just savage celebrity tweets, and it's perfect. It is absolutely, because again, it's this bombastic, over the top thing for tweets that are ridiculous, and it's the most perfect bit in the world. It's Brian McCann from Chicago, and it's so great to hear him Twitter Tracker, and he's going crazy, and it's true. Karen subscribes to Dane Cook's Twitters. Dane Cook twittered the other day that he stubbed his toe. I'm not lying to you. He felt that was worth getting his cell phone and typing to everybody. He literally was like, I'm going to hunt down couches and kill them because I stubbed my toe and it hurts. And he felt that he needed to share that with his fan base. And even worse, I read it. I read it in the goddamn car, and I read it out loud, and I went, I can't believe I read that out loud. I don't want to, I've only met Dane Cook one time, and he literally gave me a 1,000-yard stare through me to his fans, like he wanted nothing to do with me, and yet I felt like reading this, it violated the relationship that we had gone ahead and bonded over. I felt like that one moment was now invalidated, because now I know that he stubbed his toe at like 2 a.m. What the fuck? That's the first thing you do when you stub your toe. You grab your phone and you send a message to everybody. Get bombed. That ain't fucking cool. Don't do that. That just seems ridiculous. Twittering is just nonsense. It's foolish. I don't understand it. I don't get it. That said, I am on Twitter now. So you can find me. at twitter.com, the 40-year-old boy. Because I've decided, you know what? I read them. It's about time I let the world know that I stubbed my toe. The world needs to know. The world is out now craving information about me. The world, they can't just be bothered to go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com. They can't go to Facebook.com/the40-year-old boy. They can't be looking for me at MySpace.com/MikeSchmidtComedy. They need to know from me instantaneously what kind of soup I like. They need to know what color the sky is. They need to know if I open the window or close the window. They need to know how much time I'm going to take when I bother people. They need to know these things that are happening. So you can follow me at twitter.com/the40-year-old boy. And as always, that's the number 40. And you can follow me. Follow Lili Von Stupp. You're on Twitter, aren't you?
Sadly, yes.
Lili Von Stupp is on Twitter. So go find twitter.com/
I won't let them follow me unless I know them.
You won't let them follow you unless you know them. But this is part of the networking. This is part of the best part.
Twitter is me and my 20 friends.
But that doesn't make any sense. Don't you want people to know that you like a sandwich? Come on! By all means, tell the world what you're doing with yourself. They need to know what shampoo you use. Everyone on earth needs to know this about you. Facebook is where that's for. All right, so you can find Lili. She's on Twitter, but you can't follow her, I guess, because apparently she's drawn the line in the sand over following her on Twitter. She's willing to take her clothes off in a crowded room, but she couldn't possibly share her thoughts with anybody who hasn't met or shook her hand. Fantastic. All right, well, good. Good for you. By the way, I have no such hang-up. Go to twitter.com/the40-year-old boy and find out what fucking toothpaste I use. I know you want to know. I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, is it Colgate? Is it Crest? Maybe he uses some sort of Aquafresh. Does he use some sort of hemp-crazy fucking hippie toothpaste from Trader Joe's? Who knows? Take a look at my Twitter page and you'll know all you need to know about myself. I'm a dick, folks. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a decent guy because I am a jerk. And I'm not a jerk. Man, I'm an awful guy. I'm not an awful guy. I am not a good guy. But I don't think I'm a bad person overall. So, and go ahead and by all means judge that. I'm kind of a jagoff. I got no future. What am I talking about? But I am a jagoff. And I'm not a jerk. I'm a nice guy. It's just I guess I have jerky tendencies. I've done so much ridiculous stuff, and then I wonder afterwards, I'm like, man, how come I don't hang out with anybody? Here's why, because you're a dick. You're finished. 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 You're finished.